Hey everybody, Vaughn here with the Vonster vlog, and welcome to day 73 of a year of yoga. I am feeling quite stiff this morning, but it is a beautiful silver rainy day. And so let's join each other on the mat. Thank you for joining me, by the way. And I'm just here at the foot of my mat, grounding through all the corners of my feet, really just solid. Inhaling, arms up overhead, plugging into the sky, not bunching our shoulders up, but resting them down towards the ground. Inhale and exhale, dip down, slight bend in the knees, coming back up. Inhale, dip down, maybe a little deeper as we come back up. Exhale, dipping. This time as we come up, let's rise slowly onto our toes, balancing not just on the big toe, but on the outer edges of our pinky toes as well. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale. And as we raise up onto our toes, each repetition, we can come a little higher, maybe find a little bit more strength and balance. There we are. Up next, we are going to do just a little bit of still being grounded through our feet. I've only repositioned myself for y'all's sake, if you look up at the camera to see what's going on. Or you can move around on your mat as much as you like. We were just standing, and I'm putting my hands, just fingertips, on my outer thighs. Inhale and exhale. I'm just going to stretch my fingertips down my right thigh and then come back up. Inhale, exhale, inhale. And continue this gentle internal stretching of our trunk, like just down the side body. Maybe going a little deeper each time. I try to inhale while I'm in the center and then exhale while I'm on that edge. So you'll want to go slow enough that you can pair with your breath like that. Now we can actually, as we exhale, stretch our left arm overhead as we dip to the right. Inhale and exhale, stretching our right arm as we come down on the left side. Very good. Now we're going to plug our hands into the ceiling or have them out to the side and just do some hip circles. There's one. We're doing not the biggest hip circles that we can do, but it is definitely an external hip circle as opposed to one of those internal where we're just using our lower abs. This one we're much more using our outer thighs and knees. And we can change directions. I am very blessed to be surrounded by a bunch of rambunctious cats today. Well, one of them's rambunctious enough for the both of them. And the other one's my little loaf of hate. But that'll be all right. Very cool. We can actually even just practice switching our weight from one side to the other. And as we come over onto our right, we can lift our left leg just a little bit. So shift over, lift that right leg, shift, and lift. And this can help us to build up our balance, and just that coordination of trying to smooth things out always makes it a little bit more challenging for me. And you can just breathe however feels natural to you. Just be sure to keep breathing. One more on each side. And we're not doing a huge lift either. We're just building up that little bit of balance practice. So now let's inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, sweeping around, bringing our palms in front of our heart, just being very focused and aware of our individual fingertips touching the mounds of our palms. And just have that be a very energized sensation. So now from here, we will open up, turn so that our thumbs are facing down, our palms are facing the wall behind us. And exhaling, bring our arms behind and bring them up so that our fingertips are touching. And we can bring those elbows back. While we're here, just touching our longest fingertips together, let's roll our shoulders up and back 3 times and then change direction. There's 1, 2, and 3. Before we loosen it back down, inhale up and then exhale, turning our palms again and bringing one hand stacked on top of the other behind us. Before we inhale, back up, palms together, and exhale, coming back down, the other palm stacked on top. And here we can inhale, lifting our chest. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, down, palms stacked alternately. Inhale, lifting our chest. And exhale, palms overhead. Inhale, last one on this side, stacking our hands as we exhale. Inhaling, lifting the chest. And exhale. And just take a moment here, palms overhead. You might actually start to do some hand circles as we come back down. Just anything to wake your wrists up. We could actually turn the other direction. As we come back up. And from here, let's practice some half eagle arms. So we will inhale, plugging our thumbs into the wall behind us, palms towards the sky, really opening across the full front of our arms and our chest. And you may even get to where you're squeezing your scapulas together, your shoulder blades, just as scapulas are shoulder blades, right? I think so. I'm trying to learn this stuff, so I'm probably just spewing a bunch of gibberish nonsense, but work with me here. Inhale, nice and deep. Exhale, flipping our palms towards the ground, bringing our arms, crossing them at the elbows. And let's try to, if your boobage or your pectoral muscles are in the way, just come up a little bit and then down. And this is where I'm at today. So wherever you're at, just bring your top arm towards the sky. 1 breath. 2 breaths. 3, inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, bringing your arms back together. Other arm on top this time. Get them nice and crossed at the elbows before you bring your fingertips towards the sky. Last breath here. And gently with control, come back out of it. Now we are going to come into our back bend and forward bend flow. So I want to make sure that my mat's far enough away from the wall behind me, and I'm not going to kick one of the cats who are supervising here today, it does seem. So we will inhale, raising our arms overhead, or just keep breathing if you're already there. And we will lift our chest towards the sky using the back of our diaphragm to lift. And exhale, bending back just very lightly. And here we will inhale, exhale, inhale, and fold forward, just swan diving down. You may just come to having your hands at the top of your thighs or to a chair. Yeah, baby. Or fingertips to a block. Let's grab our blocks. Just whatever you would like to bring the ground up to you. Props are not a crutch, they enhance our postures. As we're here in our forward bend, we can rock forward on our toes. We can rock back onto our heels and lift our toes up. Let's actually hold here for a moment and give our toes a little bit of a wiggle. Woo, like spread them and squeeze them and spread them and squeeze them. And come forward and then come up onto your tippy toes. Maybe wiggle your butt at the sky before finding a spot of stillness. Folding forward. In yoga, at least for me, I'm lowering my blocks down just one to make it a bit more comfortable for myself. Whenever I speak of stillness in yoga, it's the kind of stillness that you would experience on like a peaceful beach, where there is still movement, there's still tide, the ebb and flow of the waves crashing on the shore gently, but they're still doing their thing. There might still be a gentle breeze, still thoughts just coming and going, but you're letting them pass by. You're just observing. And so we're already in this peaceful environment. And then it's as though I've hit pause. And the breeze has stilled. And the waves have slowed in their motion until they're perfectly still. And then with our gentle breath, it comes back into the natural movement. So I'm not looking for a held breath, locked knees, freeze framed, stock still stillness, but a natural stillness, like how you would experience in just a very peaceful, pine grove. Those are always very peaceful to me because there's not a lot of undergrowth. And so everything's just sort of still and quiet. Then we will bend our knees, roll up one vertebrae at a time, roll those shoulders up and back as we inhale. Arms overhead, not bunching our elbows our shoulders or our elbows by our ears. We'll inhale. We're lifting our sternum towards the sky as we come into that slight back bend just in the upper back. We don't want to be bending through our lower back right now or even the center. It's just lifting with those muscles in the upper back and bringing our arms behind us. We will take 2 breath cycles here. Going a little deeper as we exhale and coming out gently as we inhale. And if you can, try to extend your arms even more powerfully behind you. And inhale and exhale, swan dive forward. Coming back to your props, maybe lowering your blocks down another step. Coming up onto our toes, let's give them a squeeze. Coming up onto our tippy toes. Maybe swaying our weight from side to side. And don't have your knees locked out here. If you're experiencing pain on like the back of your knee, like the back inner side of your knee. For me, that's a really good indicator that I need to focus on making sure there is a micro bend in my knees there. Now we will bend our knees more, roll up. One vertebrae at a time, shoulders up and back. Inhale, arms overhead, chest lifting. Exhale. We will do 3 breath cycles in this back bend. Each inhale pulsing out of it just a little. Each exhale going a little deeper. And inhale, come back up, and exhale, forward fold. I'm going to shift my blocks out of the way. Bring my fingertips to the ground. And from here, we may actually hold on to our elbows and let our head and shoulders hang loosely, shifting from side to side. Or we could bring our palms to the ground if you're there. Let's inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back down, forward fold. One more breath cycle here. And as we exhale, walk our hands forward into downward facing dog. Hey, kitty. Hey, you're a good girl. We can lift up onto our toes here, really elongating through our spine. Oh, the cat's doing yoga with me. And then let our heels start to come towards the ground. They don't have to be touching, but just bringing the focus on that stretch through the back of the legs. Inhaling, bringing my feet together. I'm going to bring my right hand in a little bit to make some space. Let's actually lift that back leg up, bend our knee, and bring it forward. Resituate however you might need. And high runner's lunge. I'm trying to look forward. I don't want to be collapsing all of my weight very heavily into my hands, but we can build up to that. The stronger you become, the lighter you'll become. Not necessarily in like a volume or mass thing, but you'll be stronger, like more supportive to yourself. So let's lower that back knee, untuck those toes, and gently come up into making sure our knees traveling over our foot. Low crescent. And you could be just straight up and down here. You actually don't even have to be lunging that deep into this to get a really good hip flexor stretch. It's more from pushing into your glutes to really, that can stretch your hip flexor really well. So unless you just really, really, really want to come down deep, but for me, that's kind of hard on my kneecap. So I'm just going to be right here. And palms to ground, lifting that back leg back up, sending my right leg back. Inhale. Exhaling back into downward facing dog, holding for just a moment. Inhaling, bringing my foot in towards the center, my right foot, and then I'm going to lift my left foot. And then inhaling, bending that knee, bringing it in, shifting my left hand out of the way. Exhale, getting it up there. And instead of lifting and pulling it in, you could walk it forward. You do whatever you need to do to get to where you're going. Just situating my limbs just a little bit I do a very wide stance in this. You'll notice my feet are almost as wide as my widest mat. And this is to give myself enough space to properly align my hips and make sure my knees are comfortable. We're going to exhale, lower that back knee, untuck the toes, come up slowly. Inhaling up and back into a low crescent on this side. Inhale. Don't fight, cats. Hey. Oh, you're going to hear the cats fight. I'm so sorry, guys. Ooh. And now we're just going to come back and sit on our feet for a minute. Oh, that kicked my butt. I'm sweaty. It's like 60 degrees today and I'm sweating. That's a good workout. For me, at least. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. Let me know how you're doing down in the comments. Stop it, girls. I'm going to go play with these cats, give them some distractions. Callie, you instigator. All right, guys, we will see you next time. So until then, keep on keeping on. Bye.